Story time. We grinding, loving it, feels good. I think the most fascinating thing about life is I don't think people realize that you truly have to make a decision to change or accept the decision that you've already made. When it comes to life, right? Let's say you want to lose weight. Let's say you want to stop drinking. Let's say you want to make money. Let's say whatever the case you want to do, right? You're already doing things. Like you're legit already doing things that either help you get there or stop you from getting there. Everyone's already actively doing things. You just need to identify, are the things I'm doing helping me move towards my goal or away from my goal? So let's use fitness, for example. Let's say a person's out of shape. They don't like their body fat percentage. They're 30 pounds overweight and they just don't like how they feel. At some point, they were 10 pounds overweight, 20 pounds overweight, then got to 30. It didn't just happen overnight. So that means there's things they're actively doing to put themselves in a position to go from 5 pounds overweight, 10, 15, 20, 25 to 30. So that person would have to acknowledge the fact that they're actively doing something. It's just pushing them away from their goal. So let's say it's eating. Cool, it's eating. Simple does not mean easy, but simple is still simple. If it's eating, if it's one target area, like let's use like eating, if you know for a fact that what you are eating or how you are eating directly impacts the weight you don't like, that means you need to change eating, change how you eat, what you eat, when you eat, or accept that eating is the reason you're fat, or eating is the reason you're overweight, or eating is the cause of your problem, and just accept that. There's no in between. And that's something that I've started to realize with taking health serious, taking just overall life serious, is there's only one or the other. In the same breath, with the person like who's 30 pounds overweight, they're enjoying the short-term benefits of what they're eating. Clearly, they're not eating something that's disgusting, gross, they hate, that's making them gain 30 pounds. So it's like, you have to make a decision. Do you want to enjoy now and to a degree suffer later? Or do you want to, as people call it, suffer now to enjoy later? Because to suffer now means to not eat the food you enjoy eating. Not eat the food that is causing you the problem. But later, you're healthier. Later, you're in better shape. Later, you don't have the 30 pounds. And we live in a world where people don't realize they're just accepting. Like, no one's forcing anyone to do anything when it comes to what they eat, how to eat, or not even just using what to eat, how to eat. But no one is forcing anyone to do the things that contradict their goal. You know, like, let's say you want to quit drinking, right? No one's forcing you to drink if your goal is to quit drinking. The same thing vice versa. Let's say if you wanted to drink, no one's forcing you to not to drink. So the concept of what am I trying to achieve? The concept of what am I trying to do versus the concept of what is actually happening. if you take your time to look at just those two, I think to a degree it literally explains your life. It explains why you're here, not here, and vice versa, why you're here, not here. For example, I know there's people who work like 16-hour days. Putting yourself in a position to work 16-hour days doesn't sound fun at all. Putting yourself in a position to work 16-hour days means literally 16 hours of your 24-hour day, you're obligated to something, and you're just there. In the same breath, 16 hours of your day is literally work. It's not play. It's not party. It's not vacation. Like, it's literally to work. Therefore, you have 8 hours to put towards anything else. And I wouldn't advise this, but I think for someone who's working 16 hours a day, it's safe to say they don't have an additional 16 hours to do other stuff. That could be good or bad. The whole picture I'm trying to create is 16 hours of their day is towards something specific. And a lot of people don't work 16 hours a day. A lot of people usually just work 8. Some people work more, some people work a little bit less. Either way, it's like, what is your time going to? What are you putting your time towards? What are you actively pursuing, and how much time is going towards that? And I think that's the biggest dilemma in the world we live in today. Simply is, we have enough time. It's not that we don't have enough time. It's the fact that we prioritize the things that we enjoy over our goals. I think the saying goes, you either sacrifice for your goals or your goal becomes a sacrifice. I think it's something like that, in a ballpark. But even with that statement being said, that is the most simplest black and white statement that makes sense. Like, it literally makes sense. Like, there's nothing like around it. So if you're really struggling, if you're really going through some hardship, if you really think like, man, I gotta get X, Y, and Z, or I gotta get my life turned around, whatever the case may be, just like audit yourself. Literally audit yourself. Think about what is actually happening in your life. What are you actually doing? Not what you think you're doing, not how you feel. Like, what are you actually doing? Are you actually working 8-9 hours? Are you actually relaxing 8-9 hours? Are you actually spending time with your kids 8-9 hours? Are you actively working on your craft 8-9 hours? Like, what are you actually doing? And I think once you get to a point where you look at what you're actually doing, then you can start doing the math on your life. Then you can start calculating, because your results come from the actions that you're doing. Some people don't like the results, therefore the action needs to change. Some people love the results, therefore you need to continue the action. So you just need to put yourself in a position where you audit yourself. What am I getting? Man, I'm losing a pound a week. Okay, do you like losing a pound a week? Yes, continue what you're doing. Man, I'm gaining a pound a week. Do you like what you're doing? No. Therefore, you have to change what you're doing. And I'm to a point in life where I understand that it literally is that simple. And I would even argue to a degree it's that easy, because you're just prioritizing what you want. As a kid, I would prioritize like playing the video game. That like something I genuinely wanted to do. Therefore, I wouldn't sacrifice the video game for, let's say, like eating healthy. But I never thought about eating healthy. My goal was never to eat healthy. My goal was to like have fun as a kid and play the video game. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but that is me admitting, either consciously or acknowledging the fact subconsciously, like what I decided. I picked. Like I decided I picked the video game. So picking the video game, I couldn't be bothered by the results of the actions that I picked. Because let's say I wanted to be the number one wide receiver in the world or the smartest kid in my school. Playing the video game doesn't relate to that. Playing the video game is not a direct correlation to the result that I want. So a lot of people get mad or bothered or have an emotional outburst or don't even know how to fathom the idea that the result they're getting comes from a lack of actions they're doing, or the results they're getting are a direct correlation to the action that they're doing. And when you really just break it down that simple, you just have to ask yourself, what do you want? And then after asking yourself, what do you actually want? You have to audit yourself. What do you actually do? And when you take the time to just look at what you want in comparison to what you do, everything makes sense. I know a lot of people don't like to admit that to themselves. A lot of people don't like to just be honest with themselves, but that's literally the key. That's literally the key. And I know some people don't understand that. This is why, like, today I'm making like this video to help people understand like the key to success, or not even success, the keys to your goal. In life, all you have to do is work backwards. What I mean by that is, think about what it is that you want. Literally, what do you want? And then from there, work backwards into the steps that it takes to achieve that. Because a lot of people don't know where to start, but a lot of people know where they want to be. And then once you realize where you want to be and you take the necessary steps backwards to find your starting point, right? You need to accept it. You need to accept. So if it's getting, let's say, if it's making money, you know you need to work. No matter what job it is, you know you need to work. When it comes to making money, you know you need to spend less than what you make to have more money. You know, like simple stuff like that. But people allow simple stuff like that, small things like that, just a small step, to hinder them. And that's just what it is. That's literally all it is. Like, don't allow these simple steps to hinder you, because life is a bunch of simple steps. Life is a bunch of simple steps. A lot of people who we consider great, phenomenal, or like highly successful people just made those steps a routine. You know, some people, they're going to get up at 5. Some people are just going to get up at 5 a.m. Some people aren't. And you have to accept what comes with that. Some people are going to get up at 5 a.m., work out to 7, then after working out to 7, go to work from 8 to, let's say, 8, and then after going from 8 to 8, and then work on their business from 8 to, like, let's say 12, and then get back up at 5. So their sacrifice is sleep. They're literally only sleeping about 5 hours a day. That's the sacrifice they picked. But by choosing that sacrifice of sleep, you're getting 2 hours of fitness. You're getting 12 hours of bringing some type of financial benefit towards you. And then on top of that, you're getting 4 hours of building something that can either be passive income, a money machine, something to that degree, or just like your freedom, whatever you want to call it. But those are 3 things, right, that they're acquiring simply because of sacrificing sleep. Some people are the opposite. Some people are not going to get up at 5. Some people are actually going to get up at like 8, 9, right before they have to go to work. Go to work. Okay, great. After going to work, what are they doing? They're just gonna go home. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that, but now you're looking at, if you're only working 8 hours, right? And you're sleeping 8 hours, and you're doing the last 8 hours just like, let's say, relaxing, chilling, whatever the case may be, what you can produce is so much limited in comparison to the first person that sleeps only 5 hours, is working out for 2 hours, working for 12 hours. You know what I mean? Like, there's only so much, I didn't do the math correctly, but there's only so much productivity that person A is going to get in comparison to person B. So when it comes down to it, you just have to ask yourself, who do you want to be? Because once you realize who you want to be, I firmly believe whoever you want to be, however you want to be, there's literally a blueprint plan for that. If it's fitness, if it's finance, if it's education, if it's relationship, whatever the case may be, no matter what you pick, religion, there's literally a step by step, because we're literally not the first to do anything. Therefore, there's a legit blueprint. With fitness, I speak about fitness because, it's a fitness page. But when it comes to fitness, you know that doing cardio is going to help you burn fat. You know that doing strength training is going to help you build muscle. You know that having a surplus of protein is going to help you recover and build. You know that removing fat is going to help you be more aesthetically pleasing. Like, you know these things, but people ignore them and then to a degree complain about the results they're getting when they're not working out, they're not eating healthy, and then they say they don't have time. And the fact of the matter is, you literally have time. You just don't have extra time. And that's the biggest aspect. People don't have extra time. Therefore, you need to sacrifice. We all have the same 24. And I know if we could get 26, 28, 34, whatever the case may be, everybody would feel better. But it's like, you have enough time to be great. You do. You just don't have enough time to be awesome, mediocre, or let's say average. You don't have enough time to be great, average, and bad in the same world. You don't. You have to pick where you want to be. And that's all it is. Like, literally. That's literally all it is. Just picking where you want to be and following the blueprint. I've seen people literally change their life from working at McDonald's, struggling financially, working at McDonald's, and just saying, I'm going to just work for a year and live with my parents and not spend a dime. And they might make $20,000, $30,000, but that's enough to put towards something to get to the next simple step. I've seen people literally say, you know what, I'm just going to cut out soda. I don't want to cut out the other things. I'm just going to cut out soda. And that alone, because they're drinking like Mountain Dew, Pepsi, Coke, whatever, for like, they're drinking it like, I think four times, like 4 times a day drinking soda. 4 times a day drinking soda. To the point, cutting that out put them in a position to lose a pound a week. Just cutting off soda. And they hated it. They hated the process of cutting out soda. But then they fell in love with the pound a week losing. So I advise people that pick what you want. After picking what you want, right? Focus on the process and the results. Some people tell you not to focus on results, just fall in love with the process. I think that you should focus on the process more. However, the shiny milestone is important as well, because let's say you get to losing 10 pounds, 20 pounds. Now 30 pounds. You get to the point where you want to be, right? Now the shiny object is gone. It's only process. But you started off because of the shiny object, which is I wanted to lose 30. So it's valuable as well. The process matters more, but don't deviate or don't ignore the fact of the shiny object as well. So I hope everyone just takes these words with like a positive mindset and just like lock in. Just pick what you want. Just pick what you want, lock in. It's your life. Pick what you want to do and literally just don't deviate. Just don't deviate. Follow the steps. You want to make money, find someone that makes money. You want to get in fitness, have a better lifestyle with fitness, find someone that's fit. But just focus on the goal, because life is simple when it's structured. And a lot of successful people just have structure. They just have a plan. Like, if you was to ask me personally, I really believe that 95% of success, literally, is just sticking to the plan. Just sticking to the plan. Like, the plan that actually works. Not just, I just created a random plan and this, that, and the third. No, there's a plan for everything in life. There's a plan to get a certain amount of muscle. There's a plan to lose a certain amount of fat. Even with fitness, there's multiple ways. There's multiple ways you can get to 5% body fat, 10% body fat, 20% body fat. There's multiple ways. Therefore, you have options. And all I'm saying is, because there's genuine evidence of X, Y, and Z working to get to your goal, just stay on the plan. Stay on the plan. Simplify it. If you want to quit drinking, don't say I want to quit drinking for the rest of my life. Just say I'm not going to have a drink today. And if that's your plan, to just not drink today, every day, just execute the plan. And now you have a lifetime, 10 years, 20 years, 5 years, 2 months of not drinking. Same thing of saying I'm going to come to the gym today. Like, my priority is to make it to the gym before work, make it to the gym after work. Just stick to that plan. And all of those steps, the buildup of all of those steps over a long period of time equals success. Now you have a habit. Now you feel weird when you don't go to the gym. You feel weird when you're not working out. It's the same aspect in the negative direction. You know what? I'm going to eat fast food today. Now I'm eating fast food every day. And now I feel weird when I don't get my fast food. Now I feel weird when I didn't get exactly what I wanted. Like, us as humans, it goes both ways. So if you're going in this direction, you're going to have to stop, which is a step, turn around, which is a step, and get over the hump. 3 steps. It might take you, so it might be harder. But it's the same way once you're on this path. To go backwards, it's harder too. For someone who hasn't drank in 20 years, and you're trying to get them shit-faced, like, that's just not going to work. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be challenging because they created an entire life of not drinking. Same thing, vice versa. So if you're going down a negative path, just understand. And when I say negative, I mean going against or contradicting your goal. That's what I mean as negative. So whatever your goal is, if it's contradicting your goal, it's negative towards your goal. So you just got to focus on the positive things towards your goal and stay on that path. Do not deviate. It's easy to deviate. However, when you're actively and consciously making efforts towards your goal, it becomes so much easier. So much easier. Like, I'm to a point now where there's nothing you can say to me to convince me to not go to the gym. There's nothing. Was I always like that? No. Was I excited? No. I'll be honest. One of the reasons that I even went to the gym or considered going to the gym is because I like playing basketball. Like, basketball's fun, and I know I have to get like stronger or stretch. I have to be a better athlete to be a better basketball player. So whatever your incentive is or whatever the reason is, it might be something else. It might be a different thing that gets you towards that. So like for me, I didn't like the gym. I hated weights. I hated lifting weights. I generally hated lifting weights. If you told me, let's go lift weights, I'll tell you no. Now I'm the exact opposite. If you told me you don't want to lift weights, it's like, I can't hang out with you. I'm sorry. But that's just me personally. I'm just being honest. So it's like, over time, it gets so much easier. And I mean that. The statement, over time, it gets easier. You just have to be specific and pay attention to what you pick. Because going down the negative route, over time, gets easier too. You get what I'm saying? So figure out what you want. Figure out your game plan. And just lock in. Just lock in. If there's distractions, if there's things that you think that will take you off course, just remove them. And when I mean remove them, it's that simple. I'm literally saying remove them. If your goal is to make money, spending stupidly does not benefit your goal. So you have to stop that. If your goal is to lose weight, like eating a bunch of junk food all the time, you just have to stop that. And it's literally that simple to just stop. Because as human beings, if you want to say spiritual, if you want to say because of God, every person is literally designed great to the degree they can literally do what they want to do. And it starts on a very small level. I want to be healthy. I don't want to be healthy. You just have to catch yourself, because we're so powerful as people that you might want to be healthy, but you're actively doing things that contradict you being healthy, and you don't realize it, and you continue to do it. But this is what you want. Same thing, vice versa. You might want to eat junk food. You might want to eat candy. You might want to eat bad. You might want to eat bad, but you're actively eating good. And if you're actively eating good, you're doing what you actually want. And I don't think people really realize that in life we do what we want. We say we don't want this or don't want that, but after you think about it and create these feelings, and then you do, it's still your want. People just don't want to admit that some things they want is not beneficial for them. And that's okay, because we're human. No one's perfect. But you cannot be ignorant to it. You have to acknowledge that if it's your true desire, you're naturally going to go towards it. So whatever you're naturally going towards, whatever you're naturally putting yourself towards, whatever you're naturally doing is something you want to do. If you didn't naturally want to do it, you wouldn't be naturally going towards it. And I'm telling you, like, people don't realize what they actually want to do in comparison to what they say they want to do. This is why I'm big on actions. I'm a big believer on actions, because at the end of the day, what you do matters. What you say to yourself is not as important as what you do. What you think about is not as important what you do, because the doing part is the end result of your thoughts and how you feel. The doing part is literally the result. So I could make money, I can not make money, I could be fit, I could not be fit, I could learn a craft, I could not learn a craft, but whatever I choose to do, the action is the result. So just focus on your actions, focus on the steps you have to do, and be great. It's that simple. It's literally that simple. Simple does not mean easy, but when you take your time and focus on the simple thing, it does get easier. Appreciate you guys listening to me today. You feel me? Time to get it in. Time to go get a lift. So I hope everyone has a great day. Appreciate it if you liked the video. You know what I mean? Hit me with a like. You feel me? Subscribe. Appreciate y'all. And then this is just my fitness journey, I'm just going to be out here sharing. Sharing is caring, you know what I'm saying? So we out here just chopping it up with y'all, man. Y'all have a great day.